So I consulted with my buddy, Dr. Foster, and he pointed me to David On's comments in his commentary on Revelation, and so really the syntax is a bit vague, a bit difficult, and so this is what On says. So que piese mian nomen que duniten basalean auton doterio achrite telestesonde ilogi to theo. And so then he comments on this Greek. He says, and to be in one accord and to surrender their royal power to the beast until the words of God will have been fulfilled. On points out that the two infinitive clauses in this partial verse, piese mian nomen, to be in one accord, and duneten basalean auton terio, to surrender the royal power to the beast, are objects, along with infinitive clause, piese ton nomen auton, to do his will, in verse 17a, of edokin, which he glosses as prompted in 17a. These two infinitive clauses detail the two ways in which God has caused the 10 kings to do his will. The clause piese mian nomen, to be in one accord, is a reference to verse 13a, where it is stated, let's see here, where did I leave off? Where it is simply stated, uti mian nomen echusin, they have one accord. The 10 kings are of one accord. Since according to the ancient view, this is interesting, the political achievement of one accord is a desired state, but one unattainable without the intervention of the gods, and it indicates that it is none other than God himself who brought about this state of political harmony. The third infinitive clause, duneten basalean auton totherio, to surrender the royal power to the beast, refers back to verse 13, ten dunamin que exousian auton totherio didosen. They are of one accord and relinquish their power and authority to the beast. Here, basalean, royal authority, is an alternate way of expressing dunamis que exousia, power and authority, two terms governed by a single article, connected by kai, and therefore clearly referring to a single reality. Finally, the phrase achri telestesonde ilogi to theo, until the words of God will have been fulfilled, is an oblique reference to the destruction of the whore in verse 16, which is presented there as an anticipated historical event. While here it is disclosed that this event not only fulfills God's sovereign will in controlling history, the primary emphasis in the three infinitive clauses dependent on edokin in verses 17a and b, but also fulfills prophecy. Here the phrase telesteson de ilogi to theo is essentially parallel to the phrase eteleste to mysterion to theo, the secret plan of God will have been fulfilled, where it goes on to explicitly state that this secret plan was announced to God's servants, the prophets. And this is the author, Dr. David Ani. So there is a bit of difficulty in trying to really parse out these sentences, and so On seems to be in agreement with the new perspective in the Watchtower from the governing body. However, so this is from Dr. G.K. Beale's commentary on Revelation. I'm not sure. It looks like he may be in accord more with the old view, although it's not real clear. Let's read it. It says, the 10 kings collectively have one purpose. This common purpose is expressed in the clause, they give their power and authority to the beast. Didosin is a futuristic present. They do not merely reign with the beast, but also submit to his authority. God is the one who ultimately inspires them to do his purpose by having one purpose and giving their kingdom to the beast until God's words shall be fulfilled. But why do they form an alliance to be led by the beast? Anyways, so it's almost like the one purpose, which is the God's desire for the destruction of Babylon the Great, the judgment, for them to execute judgment, and the giving of their authority to the wild beast is one purpose. So both of them together make the purpose of God. So it may be impossible to separate them. So both the old view from the Watchtower and the new view together may actually be that one purpose of God, which is also their purpose.